yeah, papa, mate say only bloggers be a interview. Na at this point, anka wohwe mu pa interview o grantee papa, enye anything extraordinary. Mahu se Ghana for bebre ka ho nsem, but to me, I think say it's one of the weakest interviews what grantee in your career as a politician. You didn't really say anything new. And in that process of you trying to maybe throw Kuffour under the bus because maybe you feel say o legacy ya papa Kuffour no right now MPP for kind of side because don't free few. It's party you want to find a way to throw Kuffour under the bus to make your name come up to say because like you said obi any MPP mo betumaya campaign without your legacy. Kuffour has no legacy. It's you who say somebody will be crazy to even campaign without mentioning you, whatever you left behind, because Kuffour is not intelligent enough to receive any kind of credit. And we all know, say, Kuffour campaign. The only thing I can say, you expect to say, Obi or person be the MPP in Nimbiano also use wo or recorder Sebio Papa Manusi Suminaso. And one shadante as a president a campaign. Now, and then I catch my team and they say, your interview with bloggers, it wasn't anything extraordinary. There was nothing special about it. You were basically speaking to NPP delegates. You were basically telling them, say, even though Bawumia is a loser, is a liar, they should go out in their numbers to continue the criminality of Kuffour and the NPP. That is all. You were just charging the base in their head, you were just directing them to go and vote for Kuffour. That was why you were talking to a blogger. At this point, I expect you to be granting interviews to multi-million-dollar media houses with intelligent, with all due respect. I don't have any problem with the people who interviewed you. I don't know them. I don't have an issue with them. But this is my opinion. I expect say Kuffour say Okasa, ebia the BBC Hard Talk, ebia CNN, MSNBC, Al Jazeera, like quality interviews, questions, fact-based questions, fact-based follow-ups, intellectual questioning. But I feel say well lower standard now to the point to say, and it'll be out to room. And I understand because the MPP based and as a delegate, say majority of them bloggers no mutie. They are not intelligent to that point where they will understand real issues and real analysis. That is why you feel say when you go this route, you go the weak route, the what we call a social media sensationalism route. Now, it might give you some they might give you some attention. That is why I'm saying, say, I have no problems with the people who grant you interviews all over the place. But I believe, say, you some of the platforms you grant interviews, you can see, say, blog gets you know what I mean? You're up there. And see, I was telling my team, say, there was nothing exceptional about what you did, the interview you granted. We have always known you and what you believe and stand for. You have always stood behind what we call lies. And the reason why I'm saying this is simple. Papa, on your birthday, I want to make it easy. Okatre, in your bloggers interview, say, I was not consulted on National Cathedral project. Kuffour reveals. This is no news. And why are you saying this now? It is looking like, say, Papa, every time we try to see nipa bi dia boni try a tro omo wie na omo say ye wie no, then you step in like, oh, openyin otifie mayaka nankarefo wan kasa ye beka se nanka no uwibi. And this interview you granted me huniti ehuni because we have always known, say, you have not been honest with Ghanaians when it comes to national issues. You have departed from patriotism. And that is the problem people like us, we have with you. You have departed from patriotism. You are still not allowing the party in you to take over, to understand the say, you are a statesman, and it is not about the NPP. It is about Ghana and how we can, at the end of the day, have this kind of progress, this kind of development, devoid of who is from here or who is coming from here. But it looks like you are still struggling to move away from your party. You have detached yourself from patriotism. Your statesmanship has been taken away because you have allowed your partisan side, to overshadow your patriotic side. And recently when you grant interviews, it sounds like broken record. Mr. Ex-President, if you were not consulted on National Cathedral, do you think I care? Do you think any Ghanaian cares? Because if you were even consulted, and because you want to protect your party and the people who you know are doing the wrong thing, you wouldn't have come out to tell us to say you don't agree and that they should stop. You wouldn't have done it. And you not being consulted does not change the narrative here that if you had even been consulted, Anka still they would have done what they did. The reason I'm catching Ghana for say, yeah, Kuffour interview a grantee, and it's all about America. You see George Bush, who is a former president, or Republican, a grantee interview. Do you think the Republican Party cares? No. Party, maybe I say do as Republican Party, they will not care about George Bush. The NPP now say to the point where it is not granting interview to bloggers or indirectly trying to reach out to the base to change the destiny of the party. No. I am being respectful here because I respect Kuffour very well. Into these things, Papa, you cannot isolate anybody from these things. In 2020, on Mountie stage catcher say, upon the killings, every single thing we had seen, the high number of people who were unemployed, the deliberate disrespect for the rule of law, the corruption. You saw all these things. You still came out to tell us to vote for Kuffour. You had seen also West Wagon. You had seen Ejapadie. You had seen PDS. You had seen all the things that were never reasonable for anybody to even, for one say, hey, you saw all these things. You never commented. You still came out final day of election to tell us you should all go and vote for Kuffour to continue. That's why I'm saying that you have allowed your partisanship to overshadow or cloud. And yet your patriotism, it has taken over it. So right now, you are struggling to get out of it, and you are struggling because when you're ready to be patriotic. So these interviews with these bloggers to please NPP delegates base for them to line up to go and continue Kuffour's legacy. Because you told us in 2020, say, Mahamudu Bawumia and Kuffour, all that they have done, you still want us to continue, so we should go out and vote for them. That is what you told us. You did not care about the economy, jobs that were being destroyed, the corruption, the nepotism, the disrespect for the rule of law, how they were. You did not care about any of these things. All that you did was you did party job. This is not new. There's nothing exceptional about what you just said yesterday. I don't think anybody in Ghana is shocked. I don't think Ghana and Libya sorry say, hey, Kuffour Neka say. Nobody should be shocked. And I don't think anyone is shocked because you have shown us from Titinyina Besia. Nana Dankwe Kuffour told us he wanted to hand over to Bawumia. Anamebwa, you were there. You said yes. You knew what Kuffour had done. You knew what Bawumia had supported. You still went ahead and said we should vote for the NPP. Team, give me video. Team, give me video and let me show to your papa. Nobody is surprised. Then, so when I see people making noise, Kuffour can say, no, this is normal. This is normal level. Bibian Sisanye. It is still the same Kuffour we know. The same Kuffour who pretends he loves Ghana, but he doesn't. The same Kuffour who always chooses his party over citizenry, omo plight. That has been you. And I was expecting you to say, the last 8 years, a better less you can say, no, enough is enough. You need the party at this point there. Let us put Ghana before. But you never did. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo stood before Ghanaians in 2024 after people were shot in 2020 elections, after PDS, after Ejapade, after Galamsey swallowing your own hometown in the Ashanti region, after